Okay, we start with the second part of module 2, okay, the second chapter. So here we will discuss about the extended service design life cycle, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Basic objectives will be to describe the information security management process and security policy, then usage of the IT service continuity management process, illustrate the business continuity management strategy, supplier management process, the concept of supplier adherence, and finally describe the supplier and contract database essentials. Of course, we are not finishing all this today, but we'll start with it. Okay, so starting with the information security management process. Okay, so as given here, it is one of the basis of IT service management and is a critical part of the warranty of service. So it is basically a set of policies which is concerned with the IT related risks. Okay, and the main objective of this is to guide and direct the security activities and also to ensure that the security goals are achieved. Okay, guidance for security activities. So it means that other processes get clear instructions on how to approach the security issues. For example, you have the daily activities of the IT operations or accessing the management functions regarding the bring your own device concept. You heard about it? BYOD, bring your own device concept. So bring your own device concept is
Yes,
in
ma'am.
place, but it is the security policy which decides as to who can use it, which authentication method is to be used, and which network resources can be accessed by which user, etc. Okay, so next is the security goals. So in security goals, if you have ISO 20,000 in place, then you will have to check regularly if the security measures are in place or not. Okay, and if they are not in place, then it is essential to establish an internal audit in order to check if the included parties, for example the IT users, the management, the IT development, IT operations, etc., which comply with these regulations are in place. Okay, so an ideal case would be to have an external auditor so that the auditing is unbiased. Okay. Next, we have the information security management process from an ITIL perspective. So, in this digital age, information security management plays an important role in service management. It aligns itself with the IT security and business security to ensure that the information security across the organization is properly controlled and managed. Okay, so the process of information security management includes the information security management system, the structure and controls, a policy, communication strategy, and risk management. Industry standards can be used in order to improve the information security, such as ISO 27001, which an international standard, are made up of 5 elements, and these 5 elements are implement, control, plan, evaluate, maintain. Next, we have information security management, which should include the various activities like communication and implementation of policies, operation and distribution of information system management policy. It ensures that all staff, both internal and external, are aware of the policy and thereby follow it. Assessment of management information, monitoring any incidents associated with information security management, subsequent implementation of controls that supports the process, proactive improvement of process. Okay, so next we come to the concept. Okay, so see, So these are some core and secondary information security concepts. Okay, all the ones marked in pink or red, okay, these are the core concepts. The ones marked in blue, like position, utility, authentication,
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
so
Mm-hmm.
these are all the related concepts of information security, and the techniques to be used, okay, to for the core concepts like confidentiality will be encryption. So the ones marked in green are the techniques that needs to be used. Okay, so for having the core concepts like confidentiality, we need to have the encryption technique. For having, okay, for enhancing integrity, we need to have digital signatures, and also hashing can be used, the techniques. And for availability, we need to use the technique redundancy. Okay, so we'll discuss all this in details. So see, information security management process is the center for all security issues inside the organization. Its mission is to produce the policy for information security. ITIL guidance used to emphasize upon IT security, while today it focuses on information security management because it seeks to protect the information in whatever form. So following are some of the important concepts. So we'll discuss them one by one. Starting with the information assurance. Starting with information assurance, so see, it is the management of all risks which concerns the information. Okay, it includes identifying and taking all the defensive measures to address the basic CIA trio, means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. CIA trio of concerns in respect of information and information handling systems. Okay, information assurance also includes the planning and setting up of measures to observe, detect, and react to the information security breaches, and also to restore the information and information systems when required. Next, coming to confidentiality, this you have learned, right? Confidentiality, availability, integrity multiple times. So what is
Yes,
confidential?
ma'am.
Yes, so this is when we don't want any unauthorized person to have access to the confidential information. Yes, so the information will assure that that is intended only for the authorized recipient, right? So instances of breaches of confidentiality includes someone reading someone else's mail, or examining some you know examining the rubbish for information and writing down a password. Okay, a public example of such unauthorized access happened basically in May 2008, when in an embarrassing incident for the government. Okay, the housing minister of that time, uh, you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
he was one of the housing ministers, so he was photographed while holding a briefing document of the UK, United Kingdom housing market. So the photograph was taken. The photograph which was taken was detailed enough for the written text to be read only to reveal the government concerns that would not otherwise have been made public. Next, we talk about the availability. So it is availability is to assure that if you are an authorized user, and whichever being an authorized user, whichever resources you are authorized to use should be available to you all the time. Okay, and so it is that information available to all the authorized users or system during the time in which they are authorized to access it. So an instance of a security failure concerning the information availability might be the prevention of authorized persons who can access the corporate data because of, say, internet-based denial of service attack. And another example might be the inability to run a payroll program because of an accidental deletion of the staff data file. So two levels of security objectives are to be met here. One is the availability of information and usable when needed, and the systems that provide information which can resist attacks and recover from failures. Next, we talk about integrity. Integrity means the data that should not be modified. Okay, so it is an
Yes, ma'am.
assurance that the information has not been modified or tampered in storage or transmission by someone other than the authorized person or the process. Okay, And integrity covers any form of unauthorized change. It can be deliberate or otherwise. So a suitable example might be the modification of data which is stored in a computer by the action of a computer virus. So security objectives are met when information is completely accurate and also protected against the unauthorized modification. Next, we come to authenticity. So it is an assurance that an information, communication, transaction, and contracts are genuine, and that the identities of the person or system who can access the information or can take part in the communication or transaction are known or verified. Okay, a suitable example would be the identity theft, where one individual misrepresents himself as another individual, mainly for some fraudulent gains. Okay, next we have non-repudiation. So you having done something later on cannot deny that you haven't done it. So that is repudiation. So here in wider terms, you can explain it like, so say in case of legal contracts, so if once agreed cannot be undone by the party. So if being a bank, okay, you have made some transaction, later on you cannot deny that you had made the transaction. No, okay, you cannot repudiate. So in information security context, it means that the parties in any form of agreement or any third party cannot change the contract or cannot deny having entered into it later. So in so it means that the recipient has the proof of the identity of the sender, and also the sender has the proof of delivery to the recipient. Okay. Next we come to the information security management in business. Okay. So see, information security has been considered as an IT responsibility in many organizations, as the communications infrastructure and everyday business activities are increasingly becoming dependent upon information technology. So this growth in IT has provided many new ways for critical business information to be compromised, and uh, though it is the responsibility of the IT department to manage any vulnerability created, but when without a whole business approach, there is a limit to the protection which an IT department can offer, and that is because the whole business approach is the best firewall in the world, and it helps in preventing anyone sending the critical data out of the organization. Next is the way forward. So the information security management should appreciate the broader business aspects of the organization. It should understand its structure and its business propositions. It is essential for the information security managers to be aware of the life cycle of organizational information assets and future plans, in order to ensure that the risks are assessed at every stage of that life cycle. Next we have see so these are the 4 P's, okay? People, process, products or technology, partners or suppliers. So these are the 4 P's through which information security management can be achieved. Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next, we come to the ISM standards. So there are various published ISM standards as per ISO IEC 27000 family. So these are the various standards. Okay, just go through it. I'll share the file. You just go through it. Next, okay. So next is the ISM process. So here we have some key elements in the framework. Okay, like we have control, we have plan, implement, evaluate, maintain. Okay, so then we have preventive, reductive, detective, repressive. So we'll go through each one by one. So starting with control. So see, the main objective of the control element of the ISM framework is to basically establish an organizational structure to prepare, support, and implement an information security policy. It also distributes the responsibilities and establishes documentation. Next, coming to plan. So the purpose is to develop and recommend the suitable security measures based on understanding the requirements of the organization. Third, we have implement. So here, this element makes sure that appropriate procedures and controls are in place to support the security policy. Evaluation. So here the basic objective is to carry out the regular audits of technical security of IT systems and manage and check the compliance with security policy and requirements in the SLAs. Next, we have maintain. So here basically the main objective is to improve security agreements, okay, for instance, as mentioned in the SLAs, and improve the implementations of the security measures and controls. Then we have preventive measures. So this ensures the prevention of any security incident. So measures such as controlling access rights, authorization, authentication, then you have access control. So these are essential for this measure to be effective. Next, we have reductive. So reductive means to minimize any possible damage that may occur. Detective is to detect any security incident as soon as possible. Repressive is to counter any repetition of security incident. Okay, and corrective is that the damage done is okay. It ensures that the damage which is repaired as far as damage done is repaired as early as possible and as far as possible. Okay. Next, we come to the information security policy. So the information security policy basically covers all the areas of security, including say assets disposal policy. Okay, let me just zoom in. Assets disposal policy. Then you have an overall information security policy, use and misuse of IT assets policy. Then you have an access control policy, password control policy, email policy, internet policy, antivirus policy, information classification policy, remote access policy. Next, we come to the IT service continuity management process. So what is it actually? Wait. So IT service continuity management focuses on providing support to the overall continuity of the business. It is defined as the process which is responsible for managing the risks that could seriously impact the IT services. It must work closely with the business continuity management to perform the risk analysis and business impact analysis. It is responsible for development and deployment of service continuity model, a plan, and it also works with the change management in order to ensure that the continuity plans are updated as the operational model changes. So basically this activity, okay, this activity is referred to as the disaster recovery. Okay, but also the use of the term that is IT service continuity management. Okay, this should indicate that there is corresponding business continuity process. Okay, and uh, it supports the business continuity management process. Okay, so next we come to why have the IT service continuity management. So why do we need it? So here it's outlined clearly. Since technology is an essential component of most business processes, high or continued availability of IT is critical to the survival of an organization as a whole. So it is achieved by introducing risk reduction measures and various recovery options. Like all elements of the ITSM, successful implementation of ITSCM can be achieved only with the senior management commitment and the support of all members of the organization. And the main purpose is basically to maintain the necessary ongoing recovery capability within the IT services. Next, we look at the objectives of IT service continuity management. So the main objective is to support the overall business continuity management process by making sure that the required IT technical facilities can be recovered within the required business timescales. So here we have the activities of IT service continuity management. Okay, first we have the initiation, then we have requirements and strategy. Next, third in phase is implementation, and finally we have the ongoing operation. Okay, so see, in initialization we have policy setting, scope, and initiating a project. Okay, so in the second, let me zoom in again. In the second, requirements and strategy, here we have the following activities performed. That is, in this stage we have business impact analysis, risk assessment, and IT service continuity strategy. In implementation, we have development of IT service continuity plans, development of IT plans, recovery plans and procedures, organization planning, and finally testing strategy. And then ongoing operation stage, we have education, awareness and training, reviews and audits, testings, and change management. So okay, so to discuss this in details, okay, so here in initialization, basically in this stage, this is initiation is basically, it is linked with the business continuity plan. Okay, it does the policy setting. Okay, then it allocates the resources and terms of reference and scope. Then requirements and strategy, along with business impact analysis, risk assessment, IT service continuity strategy, it also serves as input from the availability management and security management. Okay. Next, in implementation, we write continuity plans, which include the uh, emergency response plan, then damage assessment plan, salvage plan, crisis management, and PR plan. Also, we implement the standby arrangements, implement the recovery options, and test the plan. And finally, development, implement procedures and working instructions. And then in the fourth stage, okay, here operational management, it is, it links ITSCM to change management to keep plans and recovery options up to date, and requirement of IT staff to be aware and well trained to use the plan, and continuous improvement of the process through testing. Next, we have the risk analysis technique. So it's basically a phased approach which comprises of 4 phases. Okay. Uh, First, we have identifying the components, then analyzing the threats, assess the vulnerabilities, and finally evaluate those threats and vulnerabilities to provide an estimate of the risk. Then we come to the terminologies used in ITSCM. Okay, one is recovery options. Then we have do nothing. Then we have manual. So do nothing is basically the business can function without this service. Okay, do nothing. Then we have manual workaround. So administrative actions. Okay, they take a lot of resources to enter data back into the systems. So reciprocal arrangements agree to use an infrastructure of another organization, particularly for batching. Next, we have gradual recovery. So it's basically a cold standby. Okay, an empty room available, mobile or fixed, where IT infrastructure can be rebuilt, and it takes longer than almost 72 hours to recover. Next, we have intermediate recovery. So here it's a contract with a third party or supplier recovery organization, okay, which uses the infrastructure in any contingency situation. So backup tape should be available at the site of crisis at all the times. Next, we have hot standby, which is also called the fast recovery. So this option provides for fast recovery and the restoration of services, and it is sometimes provided as an extension to an intermediate recovery provided by a third party recovery provider. Next, we have immediate recovery, so also known as the hot standby. So it is full of duplication of system for instantaneous recovery, and this option provides for the immediate restoration of services without any loss of services. Okay. Okay, then we are just left with one more topic. We'll discuss in the next class. Okay. Supply management process. This we'll discuss in the next class, and we'll conclude this module. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.